when kids act like little monsters. How do you keep from turning into a monster yourself, even hurting them?
If you ever do that again, I will slap the crap out of you.
I'll break your damn neck.
Tonight, parents and grandparents who say they were abused as kids open their homes and lives to let us watch.
You need to be shot.
The solution to timeouts and tantrums.
You're looking at me like I got 5 eyes, like this is crazy talk. I know, I live with them.
And the secret weapon that's guaranteed to tame every wild child.
And that actually works.
It works wonders.
I'm shocked by that.
And melt every parent.
Give me a hug.
Prime Time, Family Secrets. Here's Chris Cuomo.
A lot of parents tonight, including the one in front of you, can probably relate to this scenario. It's been a long day and it's time for bath or bedtime, or for your child to just stop writing on the wall, but your little bundle of love won't budge. So, what's the solution? How do you keep from morphing into the mom or dad you swore you would never become? Come watch 3 brave families who allowed us to turn our cameras on their homes and their hearts as they seek help from some super nannies to the rescue. The big question for all of them and us, is it the child who needs turning around, or is it you? You are watching a family meltdown in progress.
Kids been gone all day long.
Stop punching me!
Stop the Lil and Tim.
Cora Colhoun is a 63-year-old grandmother raising her grandkids in Florida.
Hit her in the face. He's beating Talila.
No, I didn't!
She is at her wit's end because the children are almost constantly out of control.
Oh, she ain't gonna beat it. Whoa! I just wanna get him. I just wanna pick up one of those crops right there and smash his damn head.
All 3 of the kids have gotten into trouble in the past year. 10-year-old Tim turned over a desk at school, punched a student in the stomach, and pushed a teaching aide. And even Talia, who's only 6, has been suspended.
Now see how sweet she is? That's as sweet as she can be. It's a show. When y'all leave, she gonna be the devil's daughter.
Whoa! You were the hard-headed ass in the world. Get out of here. Get out from up here.
On this day, an assistant principal is escorting 9-year-old Alex home because she got into a fight at school and hit another student.
So she don't come to school tomorrow?
I'll give you a call.
Okay. Okay.
This is not the first time Alex has gotten into trouble at school. In fact, it's not even the first time this week. And Cora feels powerless.
Now see, in the old days, when mother say do something, I would get up, rip your arms out your shoulders, and beat the hell out you with them. But now I can't even touch you.
If you discipline the children the way I was disciplined, they done put me in jail, in prison.
Now I'll break your damn neck.
Cora admits that the only form of discipline she knew growing up was violence.
Stupid. You better get your together, boy, before these folks catch me on killing your black ass.
She says when she was a child, she was beaten repeatedly with a switch.
My mother says, I brought you into this world, I can take you out of this world. And that's what she meant. Don't climb the fence right there, you tear my plant down.
Statistics show that 1 in 3 people who were harmed as children will grow up to use harsh physical punishment when they're adults. Cora is struggling to break that cycle of abuse before it is repeated in the next generation. Cora, a retired cook, has had custody since the children were infants. Their mother has been in and out of jail several times, and the children's father is rarely around. Cora and her husband David were newly married when the children came to live with him.
David and I ain't done nothing yet as a husband and wife because of them. We put our life on hold for them.
David offers support when he can, but his job as a housekeeping supervisor at a local hotel keeps him gone long hours, so Cora is virtually on her own.
I want somebody to step up to the plate, take control of their children.
What's the hardest part for you in dealing with the 3 kids?
They're not listening.
They don't do what you tell them to do.
Yeah, see that if I could get something to switch on in that and make that happen, I would be the happiest grandmother to ever walk.
You never thought you'd be in this position.
I didn't plan on raising them, but I didn't want them in foster care.
And you don't want them separated.
No, I don't. That was the biggest thing right there.
This is a huge task
That's a
you've
big
undertaken.
step. And at my age, I'm gonna get irritable. That's dangerous. Stop!
Cora's trying hard not to use physical force on the children, but the older they get,
Call the police.
the harder it is to control them.
Get your chair, dear. That's all. Get your chair. 1,
And sometimes it's all just too much.
5.
Watch what little Talia does when she's told to sit down. She actually gives Cora the finger, and Cora snaps.
Sit right here. Sit right here. I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm tired of the disobedient. I'm tired of being name called. I'm tired of them kids not listening.
So Cora's reached out for help in navigating this rocky road. She's volunteered to take part in a program for families that are at risk for abuse. It's called Parent Aid.
It's hard.
I know.
It's too hard for me.
The program agreed to work with ABC, monitoring the taping we did in the homes.
The cold is like cold weather.
Jean Hammond is then assigned as Cora's parenting mentor.
She finds herself not able to discipline them. I think she's just a soft-hearted person. So when she says something to them, they don't do it. She's had these kids most of their life. So the monsters that are there, she's helped create it.
Stop!
Cora knows the stakes could not be higher.
You need to be shot!
But can she change? Cora is in trouble and about to make matters worse.
You're not gonna hit her no damn more.
She is in over her head,
Oh no!
but not alone. Just a few towns away, Nick is a single father with a son throwing monster tantrums. But before he can control his kid, he must learn to control himself. This is 5-year-old Nicholas Chavone. He's cute, but a pistol. What? But looking at that angelic face, it's hard to imagine that this is that same kid at home. A kid who throws monster tantrums and has been getting into frequent fistfights on the school bus as well. His dad is 29-year-old Nick, a single father of 2 who works as a telemarketer.
Give me another one.
Nick says he has a good relationship with his own father now, but when he was growing up, things were quite different.
When I was younger, he was kind of abusive. Spanking, punching, throwing me across the room. I didn't want to do that with my children because I know that the effect that it put on me as a human being, I don't want that to happen to my children.
Nick says his own experience growing up makes him more attentive to his kids.
My dad never held me as a little kid and hugged me and kissed me and things like that. I do that for my kids. I know, that's what's going to make them better people.
But as loving as Nick tries to be, there are moments when his temper gets the best of him.
You touch my stuff again, I'm gonna seriously pound you.
He says sometimes he'd have explosive arguments with his son,
I can do whatever I want.
and he didn't like it.
What did I tell you?
Sometimes I'll just go crazy in my head and just snap off and start yelling and stuff.
Yeah. If you ever do that again, I will slap the crap out of you. Do you got that?
Don't say it on the camera.
I don't care about the camera. You don't throw crap at my face.
Unlike Cora, who talks a big game about what she'll do to the kids,
I'm gonna spank you.
Nick takes the next step and gets physical with his son.
Pay attention to what you're doing.
Surprisingly, Nick says spanking was actually suggested to him by, of all people, a social services caseworker. The Department of Children and Families.
Yeah, the lady told me I'd take him over my knee and spank him every once in a while. They're like, it's not against the law to spank your child with an open hand.
It may not be illegal, but as you've seen, Nick's son is petrified. And because of his own past, Nick is desperate not to use hitting as his ultimate weapon.
When I was a little kid, I feared my dad, and I don't want my son to fear me.
So Nick has started restraining his son when he throws a tantrum, hoping that will make him calm down. But instead, Nicholas just fights back, and it becomes even more of a struggle.
One more time, I'm gonna spank you.
So why doesn't this work? We asked several parenting experts to analyze our tapes.
Holding a child like that and trying to show strength during punishment will lead to aggression. It
Why
leads
not?
to flailing. And it leads to more upset, which has nothing to do with suppressing the behavior you
You're
do want.
escalating it.
Dr. Alan Kasdan heads up the Yale University Parenting Center. He's written several books on parenting a defiant child.
Come on, let's go time out.
You don't touch, you don't drag, you don't pull, you don't have physical contact.
People tend to parent the way they were parented themselves.
Karen Askew is director of the National Exchange Club Foundation, which runs the child abuse prevention program in which Nick and Cora are enrolled. And Linda Riggs heads up one of the regional centers overseeing the Parent Aid program in upstate New York.
What is the child learning from that? Are they learning to change the behavior?
It is not going to change the child.
You need to come in here on your own free will. 5 minutes.
Now, it may seem counterintuitive, but our experts say the message this sends isn't to stop or calm down, it's to fight back. This is a battle of force. That's all this is about.
Right.
I don't feel any differently about what I did. I just want to beat him at this right now.
Yeah, I can see it right there. I mean, I was holding him, he was kicking me in my head, and it makes sense.
Kasdan says this isn't just feel-good theory dispensed from behind a desk. He says the research is clear-cut.
The side effects of punishment are so well studied, and if a parent knew them, they would be frightened of using punishment. One of them is you get to dislike the punishing agent.
Those findings hit home for Nick.
My son, you know, he hurts me really bad when he tells me that he hates me and he wants to go live with his mommy. And I used to do it to my dad too, you know. And now I know how it can hurt. You know, back then I didn't know how that would make a parent feel.
So if spanking or restraining a child makes a child fight back, what about threats?
I'm gonna hit you hard. And I don't want to do that, but I am.
Cora, our grandmother raising 3 kids, is using the threat of physical punishment whenever she can't cope.
If you hit me, tell me you're dead guy. If you ever hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get my ass on camera knocking your damn head off. If you say go into timeout, so no, I'm not going into timeout. They don't do timeout.
Jean, her parent aide, has suggested several ways to discipline without threatening harm. But Cora doesn't believe any of it will work.
You want to take him time and a knot, throw him in the corner, but you can't do that.
What can we do about it?
I'll tell you what I'll do. They catch me beating the hell out of them. Yes, they will. I've never hit one of them with this, but this is my threat right here. I also got a fly swatter right there.
Cora thinks the mere threat of violence should keep the kids in line. But according to Jean, the kids know Cora won't follow through.
If you call me another lie, I'd knock it from this damn table. You don't think so? Bust you in your damn face with that damn thing right here.
Little Tim goads her on, knowing Cora's threats are empty.
I think she's just said so many things to them, and they know that's a joke.
You know I'll kill you.
Do it then.
I'm gonna hit you.
And we notice something else. Often, just moments after Cora has said something negative to Tim, almost immediately, he turns to another child and starts swinging.
You're so girlish.
Man, stop!
Don't hit her. Please don't hit her. Don't hit her.
If you want this child to comply and show respect, you don't start screaming and shouting and making threats. That will only make it worse.
You're one of the hard-headed ass in the world. Get out of here.
In fact, a recent study found that 1 in 3 parents are unable to effectively discipline their kids, particularly those using yelling and verbal abuse.
Make me shout! Hell no!
Don't threaten your child unless you can carry that out.
What would have happened if she had grabbed hold of one of them and given them a little fly swatter action? Do those threats now have a different meaning to the kids?
We know the behavior will be suppressed at that instant, and it won't change over time. And if she escalates to worse, and she makes stronger threats and more hits, it doesn't work.
Kick at him. There you go. Do it again.
And that's exactly what happens when Cora takes things to the next level.
Come on, fight me. Knock my thing down. Do it. Hit it. Slap it down. Pick it up. Pick that up. Pick it up.
The rational person's going to say, I can't believe she's saying these things. I can't believe it. Doesn't make any sense. How can she love the kids and say these things?
She is fed up, she's tired, she's overwhelmed, and she needs some support.
What are you gonna do about it?
Hit me, Tim. That's what you do. So I could break your ass in half.
Getting into basically a schoolyard game with this kid, I mean, it really regresses here.
Seen it 100 times, and it goes like this. When it's not working, escalate. So it's almost like she's saying, make my day. Hit me so I can go all the way. And it's frustration and just keeps escalating.
Escalating until the situation finally explodes.
Stop.
She said if I had had a brick, I would have thrown it at him.
Coming up, will Cora ever be able to break this cycle?
You're not gonna hit her no damn more. You get out of here. Crazy ass.
You.
Crazy ass.
Oh, that's a baby.
No, this is a baby. This is a baby. This is a baby.
4-year-old Autumn is the best part of life for single mother Dawn.
Now you get it.
You're beautiful.
Dawn is 36. She's just finished her degree as a medical technician and is struggling to support her daughter by herself.
Stop stopping.
And Autumn gives her all she can handle.
I love it.
Take your nap, please.
Nap time is a daily invitation to drama.
I want to play fetch.
Dawn tries to placate her several ways.
No, I want you to stop.
But no matter what she tries, Autumn won't settle down. However, as we saw on the tapes, Autumn's acting out is in part a reaction to Dawn often being extremely critical.
Don't wipe that on yourself. Use a napkin. Autumn, wipe that on a napkin, please. Don't use your clothes. Napkin. I'm taking it away.
And even when Autumn tries to correct her behavior,
Autumn, sit.
it's as if the little girl can do nothing right.
Hey, I'm sick of this behavior. You're going to go to bed. You do not sit there and pour things on the floor.
Clearly, Autumn can be defiant. And like most kids, she doesn't want to be controlled.
Okay, now grab my hand. Autumn.
Or to do the expected. You have magical powers, so try to make me into a prince. Let's see what happens.
You're a cockroach.
Oh, man. But watching her on the tapes, you can also see a child trying hard to figure out the unwritten rules.
I love you.
And you start to feel Autumn's frustration that she just can't seem to unlock this secret code.
No.
Sit down. Sit.
I'll get on to her for every little thing to make sure she stops doing what she's doing. Sometimes I think I do it a little too much.
Hey, it's not a joke. You don't lick people. That is nasty.
Dawn admits that she may be more critical because of the way her father harshly criticized her. Did you remember feeling that, maybe you could do nothing right?
Yeah, even when I did something nice, I got spanked. My father was very violent. He would beat us pretty bad.
In fact, Dawn's father went to prison for 4 years for abusing her. She says he hit her so much, she completely shut down.
I become numb eventually. It didn't work anymore. I become numb.
As a result, Dawn says, she became a rebellious teen.
I didn't listen to anyone. I had anger. I was angry at the world. I wanted to do what I wanted.
Let's clean this up and then we can play more. Autumn. Hey, Autumn.
And now that Dawn sees that same rebelliousness in her 4-year-old, she's scared.
I look at her, I'm okay. We got to figure out how to stop this. I don't want you to go down the same path Mommy did.
And this is where experts say problems get handed from one generation to another. Autumn is so used to being corrected, she seems unsure where she stands with her mother.
Do you like me, Mama?
Do I like you?
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Love you and like you.
Yes, you know I love you. Sometimes I don't like how you act. But I love you. Would you lay down now?
Dawn says when she was a new mother, she was too afraid to use discipline.
A lot of people told me that I was very soft with her.
You're too good to her.
Everybody said I spoiled her.
When we first started working together, she was very meek.
Jacqueline Ligon is Dawn's parent aide.
And we've really worked hard at taking charge of, not always being a victim.
So Jacqueline suggested some basic techniques to use when disciplining Autumn. Timeouts, losing privileges, and taking toys away.
Don't have a seat or I'll take more toys.
But at first, Dawn is so desperate to control Autumn's tantrums that she ends up throwing every punishment she can think of at her. During just one timeout, Dawn ends up taking at least 10 toys away, one after the other.
Well, I love you.
She goes crazy when you take her toys, but she didn't modify her behavior in the way you wanted.
Exactly.
Time out for 3 minutes. Calm down.
And it was overkill with timeouts as well.
Time out. No TV tonight, no nothing. You're even about to lose one of your stories. Autumn, you just lost your popsicle tonight. You're not getting that tonight. You know what? Go sit time out. No.
If you do 2 timeouts in a day or 3 timeouts in a day, your program is wrong.
And probably nothing illustrates that better than this astonishing face-off, which starts with a fun chase to catch the ice cream truck outside.
Well, we caught him, didn't we? This is after dinner. We got to eat dinner first. Autumn. Oh, no. I think we need to take a time out.
When Autumn tries to get up before her 3 minutes are done, Dawn restarts the timeout. And then we are off to the races. First, Dawn takes Autumn on her lap, but that only becomes a worse struggle.
She's trying, the mom's trying. We know that makes children worse.
After 6 minutes on the lap, Dawn, unsatisfied, starts again. How long can a kid sit in a chair at that age?
1 or 2 minutes is all you need, and parents find that very unsatisfactory. That's not justice.
Have a seat. Now.
At this point, Autumn digs in her heels.
Now.
So Dawn drags her back to the lap. The timeout dance moves from room to room.
This has been on too long for a 3-minute timeout.
Until finally, an exhausted Autumn has no fight left. This timeout has lasted an astounding 44 minutes. And after all that, Autumn still doesn't get the ice cream.
Now you have to wait till tomorrow to get ice cream.
It seems no matter what form of correction our families try, nothing really gets results. Dr. Kasdan says that's because punishment doesn't work.
Think of that horrible situation as someone drowning. You can never teach a person how to swim at that point. You have to just contain the situation and get him to shore. And so when a child's drowning, there's a tantrum, you're screaming, I'm in a bad mood, everything, just save the situation, don't make it worse.
When we get back, the solution to parenting a defiant child that could be staring you right in the face. And that actually works.
It works wonders.
I'm shocked by that.
Good job.
We'll tell you after this.
Proud of you too. Get your back scratched for that one. Gracious.
Hard to believe, but this is the secret weapon which research shows beats yelling, timeouts, correction, any kind of punishment you could possibly throw at your child.
You did a very good thing, you know?
Our experts say nothing else gets children to obey like telling them what they're doing right.
She even wrote, oh my goodness, I am so proud of him.
And it's not just about praising the big moments.
Go in that room and say, you know, you guys have been so quiet. This is amazing. You're getting along. That's fantastic. Let's do extra TV tonight.
And that actually works.
It works wonders.
I'm shocked by that.
We take the tension down in the home, get better compliance, and get rid of all that modeling of screaming and nastiness, which is going to harm the children. And if you're not reinforcing the positive, you're going to frustrate yourself endlessly.
See, here's why this is tough to accept. You do not get praised for following the law. You get punished for breaking the law. That's how society works. I've never had a cop pat me on the back and say, thanks for driving 55.
But the analogy breaks down because the parent uniquely has the role of developing you up to a level. And that requires very different ways of developing behavior than how society will treat you later. Society is Broadway, but you've got to do all the off-Broadway and the rehearsals first, and the parent does that part, and it can't resemble Broadway. You got to get them there developmentally.
No one tells you this. No one says to you, the key to being a good parent is to maximize the moments when things are going well, and that will keep you from having to deal with too many bad moments. In fact, recent studies show that changing a parent's behavior to be more positive can actually decrease the production of stress hormones in a child's body. And children displayed up to 20 times fewer physically aggressive acts. So how would this play out for each of our parents?
No.
Take this incident, for example, when Autumn, bored, sees a berry on the floor and steps on it.
Why did you step on it and do that? I want you to go sit in timeout for doing that. I'm sorry, that was just wrong.
Autumn quickly tries to make amends by actually cleaning up, but Dawn is too angry to let it go.
Go to timeout.
Kid actually cleaned the berry up.
Exactly.
How
Another
often does
missed
that happen?
opportunity for praise, to say thank you for cleaning that up. Giving the touch, saying thank you goes a much farther way than going to timeout.
When you heard that the real way to make progress is during these other moments that happen all the time, how did that strike you?
I felt stupid, to be honest with you.
Amen, sister. I felt the same way when they said it. They say the reason that works is one of the mysteries of parenting, as far as I'm concerned. The child's ability to learn in the negative moment is almost zero, because they immediately become upset that you're telling them what not to do, and they absorb nothing else. But praise does not come easily for Dawn, and when she first tries using it, Autumn is mistrustful.
You're doing a good job, Autumn. I'm proud of you.
Dawn does exactly what you three have been telling me you should do all the time. And the kid says to her, no, you're not. You're mad at me.
Why would I be mad at you?
That's so nice. And it's so cute.
The kid is so conditioned to getting checked and corrected by the mom that when she says something good to her and positive, she doesn't buy into it.
But that can be changed by practice.
Now, do you remember the 4 things to do when you're praising?
And practice is what Dawn gets via teleconference with staff at Dr. Kasdan's parenting clinic. Role-playing teaches Dawn what to do.
No, I don't have to go to the bathroom right now. I'm not going to pick it up.
Well, we'll try again later.
And Dawn gets a new tool, a reward chart. Every time Autumn does something right, she gets closer to something she wants.
You could ride your bicycle to school tomorrow.
What'd you get at school today? For real?
Sound too simple? Just look at how it's turned little Nicholas around.
You have 3 perfect days, you might get an Xbox game this week.
Nick has been using a reward chart ever since his parent aide, Jim Lyles, first suggested it. Jim explains that one reason Nicholas may be acting out is he's hungry for attention. If kids don't get it through recognition and praise, they'll try to get it by acting up.
Sometimes you need to even make them believe they're good.
Yeah, really. That's what I'm talking about. You should have saw the smile that was on his face when I high-fived him. He was just, it made him feel good, and it made him, I felt like it made him want to do it again.
You like it when your dad tells you did something good?
Yeah. I remember when the camera was off, when I been good, he gave me $3.
He said he was good on the bus the last 2 days?
He's been good on the bus the last 3 days. Do your homework.
No.
So the question is there ever a right time for punishment? And if so, how do you do it?
You take a brief privilege away. You're not going to watch TV tonight, and you leave the room.
I'm on the ground, I'm screaming, "Wah!"
And you leave the room.
Yeah.
So you're not going
I
to
follow you into the other room. Wah!
You walk it away.
So you just keep walking away.
That's right. Yeah. You're out of here. And we practice that endlessly with parents. You're out of here.
But that's exactly what our experts felt Dawn could have done to prevent that exhausting 44-minute timeout.
Do you want me to put it away for tomorrow?
To walk away at that moment and ignore that would be a much more effective moment than going back into timeout.
In fact, we noticed on our tapes several times that when Autumn was in the throes of a tantrum, if Dawn left the room, Autumn actually calmed down. But Dawn never knew this, because as soon as she returned, Autumn would start back up again. So what about Cora and her 3? Cora wasn't convinced that ignoring kids who are constantly acting up would really work. You're looking at me like I got 5 eyes, like this is crazy talk. I know.
I live with them. You can't tell me if you ain't never lived with 3 kids that have ADHD.
What did he hit you at?
Try getting him up in the morning time to go to school. Try getting him to take his medication, period. Just say, Tim, would you please take a bath? Go get a shower, Tim. Get the salt water off yourself.
But our panel noted that Cora already knows what to do. She just doesn't do it often enough.
That's a good one.
And we also know from the clip about her with the report card how good she can be at praising her grandchildren and how positive she can be.
Our panel says no matter how old the child, praise and reward can still turn them around. And when we showed Cora that clip of her with Tim, it struck a nerve.
You did a good thing. That's my boy. I love the other ones, but he needs me the most.
That day was probably a good day for him, right?
For me too.
And it's hard to do, but
I'm gonna do it.
We'll see what happens after this.
Don't do that, Tim. The fist just opened up and let you get back. Stop! Don't hit her. Please don't hit her. Stop! You ain't nobody. Go down there and stay. Get from up here. Get from up here.
That was then. This is now.
Stick the mic in her mouth.
The mood at Cora's house is noticeably lighter these days. Cora's working toward her GED now. It's something she's always wanted to do.
7.
And it's still hard for Cora to stay the course as far as discipline is concerned.
Mercy.
When the children start acting up, Cora reverts to her old threats.
I'm gonna take you by the police station.
Cora admits that deep down, she still believes the only discipline that will work is the way she was raised.
We do what we wanna do. We say what we wanna say, 'cause we ain't gonna get no whippings.
Get off me!
Leave her alone, Tim.
So Jean is trying to get her into professional counseling and family therapy this fall.
Oh, gracious, did he hurt something? Oh, my goodness.
But Cora is making progress in giving the children more attention and praise.
Oh, my God, a hero.
You had it in
We got to applaud this.
You went and helped somebody, Tim. That was nice.
If you ever do that again, I will slap the crap out of you.
And there's also been a dramatic change in Nick's household.
Here you go, bud.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
We got 2 teams in a row.
Things between Nick and his son continue to improve.
Glad you wore your bad shoes. That was a good call, buddy. Give me 5.
Yeah, I have my book bag.
Yeah, because if you'd have wore your good shoes, they'd be getting ruined.
Praise flows freely and often. And now that Nick's learned not to feed a tantrum by yelling, they don't last as long.
If you just ignore him and just keep doing what you're doing, he's gonna be like, wow, he's not even noticing. There's not even any point to even do it anymore.
I want to play it. I want to play it.
Our panel suggests that Nick take it one step further and leave the room until the crying stops. But even with the small step he's already taken, Nick says there's a compelling change.
I'm proud of you. See, wasn't it just easier to do your homework than to cry and whine?
A little bit of magic.
Come here, give me a hug.
Between father and son.
And a good night. There's times when he's like, I'm glad that you're not mean to me no more, Daddy, you know? I love you.
Good night, too.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
All right.
Come up here and sit by me.
Like it.
Come up here and sit by me.
When I get ready, I'll come.
Dawn and Autumn have not had as smooth a transition.
You won't learn about your prize and rewards. That's dangerous.
Day 1 turned into a disaster.
You're gonna sit in timeout. Timeout?
Autumn's tantrums were fast and furious.
I don't hurt you, you don't hurt me. Stop. No.
Tell me, how did it go?
It was rough.
And Dawn was too frazzled to remember what she'd been taught to do.
You hit mommy again, you lose your movie tonight. You lost your movie.
She's just desperately trying to get things her way.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But as long as you're consistent, this is gonna die out.
Okay.
Hey, give me it back.
Sure enough, the next day, headway.
How about this? You go throw this in the garbage can, and you can get a bubble.
By the end of the day, Autumn had bought in.
8.
You have 8 bubbles in one day. Can I have a hug and a kiss over that?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
And look at this change. A year ago, Dawn had to chase after Autumn at the playground.
Autumn, no. Didn't mommy say you cannot stand on the poles?
But now that Dawn's learned to ignore bad behavior, it's Autumn who has to chase after Dawn.
Now remember, no chewing the gum. Autumn, give me the gum, please.
Only one, please.
No, no. I said no.
Granted, there are still power struggles.
Make the right decision.
And Dr. Kasdan says progress will be gradual.
Good job.
There's no one moment of breakthrough. You'll see some progress, but there's not going to be an overnight change.
And after all, no one said parenting is supposed to be easy.
And I think it might be time to calm down and go take a nap, okay?
But if you stay the course, things will change.
Oh, you're picking those up for mommy? That is a good job. Thank you.
You deserve a big sticker.
And the difference will be its own reward.
When you finish all this, you've changed all the little parts, and now you realize, my God, this has changed everything in our household. We hear that all the time. You've made me love my child again.
Come here, give me a kiss. Good job.
That's our program for tonight. To read more about the families you just saw and to find out where you can get help if you're a parent on the edge, go to our website at abcnews.com. I'm Chris Cuomo. For all of us at Primetime and ABC News, good night.